Hello gamers, this is Sai and welcome back to Which Way Games. I've finally given in and decided it's time to talk about the fastest thing alive. And no, I'm not talking about traffic wardens giving out tickets. I'm talking about the blue blur himself, Sonic the Hedgehog.
You're too slow!
And with that being said, let's get on with the video. Being the first major video game series I played when I was younger, Sonic obviously has a special meaning for me. And you've probably guessed it by now, I'm a huge fan of Sonic. I love Sonic the Hedgehog. I even have several Sonic stickers on my car, as well as a few Sonic items inside the game room I call home. If you look back at my videos, I can guarantee that I mentioned Sonic at some point. There have been multiple Sonic games released for most gaming systems since Sonic's debut back in 1991. The most recent being Sonic Forces and Sonic Mania, but for this video we're going back to where it all began, the original Sonic the Hedgehog. Like I said, Sonic first made his appearance in gaming back in 1991 with the release of Sonic 1 for the Mega Drive. He was Sega's answer to rival Nintendo's Mario. You know, that Italian plumber who must save Princess Peach every week? Sonic would become the mascot that would become the face of Sega. Poor Alex the Kid, who was no longer their golden boy. He was out and Sonic was in. Although Alex the Kid did have a stab into the Shinobi world, so not all bad. But Sonic wasn't always a slick blue hedgehog with red Michael Jackson inspired shoes that we know of. Nintendo were giants in the gaming world, and with Mario as their poster boy, Sega had to come up with a solution. Sega wanted a mascot that would exhibit 90s attitude and could easily be drawn by young fans, especially over in America. I still love drawing Sonic, just have a look at my drawing of him. Sonic originally was called Mr. Needlemouse. He was teal in colour and looked a lot different compared to the Sonic we know of today, but still resembled a hedgehog. Well, kind of. Artist Naoto Oshima experimented with the designs of an armadillo, a rabbit, and a moustached man in pyjamas, all of which became characters in the Sonic universe later. Naoto finally pitched the idea of using the hedgehog character to his department, which as you know was ultimately selected. Enter the little blue saber we know as Sonic. Now Sega had their mascot, it was time to create a game that could rival Nintendo's Mario. The emphasis for the game was on speed, but in a bizarre twist, this idea was based on playing the original first stage of Mario for the NES repeatedly, trying to beat the first stage in the shortest time available. Ironically, if it wasn't for Mario, we wouldn't have Sonic. It's Shigeru Miyamoto, the father of the most iconic mascots in gaming.
You are the father!
With a new game on the way, Sega had to think of a way to interest gamers and breathe new life into their 2-year-old console. Tom Kalinske, the CEO of Sega America at the time, had an idea to bundle Sonic the Hedgehog with the Mega Drive, and the only way gamers could play Sonic was to buy the console. As Sega forbid retailers from selling the game separately at the time. A great idea, but we need a great marketing campaign. We obviously know of the slogan,
what Nintendo don't.
Exactly. However, how did Sega advertise Sonic the Hedgehog?
Gotta go. Hey, guy, you're the first serious gamer I've seen all morning. Check this out. Brand new 16-bit Super Nintendo with Super Mario World. Wow!
What's this one?
Oh, this is a Sonic the Hedgehog from Sega Genesis. Hey, look at these radical colors, huh?
Wow, Sonic's fast, too.
No, over here.
I like Genesis, and it costs a lot less.
Wait, kid, that game
I'll
there.
take Sonic and Genesis.
I knew that.
Sonic the Hedgehog. More action, more speed. Sega Genesis. It's a whole lot more for less.
He can move that fast? This genius idea allowed Sega to sell 15 million units. All that because of a game starring a hedgehog. The plot of Sonic 1 is that Doctor Robotnik has come to South Island, the home of Sonic, and he is searching for the 6 Chaos Emeralds. However, being the evil genius that he is, Robotnik captures and turns the inhabitants of South Island into Badniks. Badniks are robotic creations and are powered by the trapped animals inside, like a battery of sorts. Enter Sonic the Hedgehog, this freedom fighter with a sense of justice, takes it upon himself to save his friends, obtain all the Chaos Emeralds and defeat Robotnik. I know Robotnik is known as Eggman now, but at the time it was Robotnik, so I was sticking with it. Being the first game in the entire series, it was important to lay down the foundations. With its awesome soundtrack and Sonic's 90s attitude, this had gamers hooked on their very first playthrough. It does explain why Sonic is loved the world over. And being the very first Sonic game, there is no Tails, no Knuckles, no Chaotix Crew, and no Metal Sonic. The gameplay is so simple. Using a one-button scheme, gamers would make Sonic run, jump, attack, as well as avoid spikes. If gamers weren't careful, this infamous music would begin, and gamers would panic while trying to find an air bubble for Sonic. It makes me feel bad every time he doesn't get air. Ah, poor Sonic. As for the soundtrack, this was composed by Masato Nakamura, the bass player of the J-pop band Dreams Come True. Clearly a talented man who had to adapt the Mega Drive sound chip to create the amazing music for Sonic 1. The game starts out with probably the most well-known opening stage known to man, Green Hill Zone. This zone is memorable for some. In most modern Sonic games, this zone has been mixed up and always appears with some new variations and branching paths to try and keep it fresh. Sonic the Hedgehog is a short game with Sonic running his way through 6 zones of 3 acts each. So that's 18 acts then, not that short really. Like I said, gamers will have Sonic speeding his way through Green Hill Zone in no time as it's a perfect opening stage. In most of the zones there are 2 or 3 paths that gamers can take, the top being more beneficial to gamers while the lower path punishes those that end up there. However, after the opening stage the speed of the game slows down to a crawl with Marble Zone. Maybe this is a much needed break that gamers will need. This change of gameplay would happen again in later acts such as Labyrinth Zone. Not my favourite to play, but it does have catchy music. Throughout each zone, Sonic will collect rings, these all important circles of gold with a difference between life and death. If Sonic collects these, he essentially can get hit and gamers wouldn't lose a life right away. However, if gamers didn't collect the lost rings or collect some new ones, Sonic was fair game for the robotic army of Doctor Robotnik. As well as collecting rings, Sonic can collect a shield, speed shoes, as well as invincibility, but for a limited time only. And if you manage to get 100 rings, an extra life is all yours, but good luck in keeping those rings. Collecting 50 rings, Sonic will have the chance to enter the Special Zone. The Special Zone can only be accessed at the end of each stage, with gamers guiding Sonic into a large rotating ring above the robotic turnstile. Once in the Special Zone, Sonic can collect a Chaos Emerald, but only if he can traverse the rotating level to reach it. At the end of the game, if gamers didn't collect all 6 emeralds, they would be met with Robotnik taunting them with the emeralds not collected. But if gamers collected all 6, then the true ending would happen, but I'm not going to show you that. Now, you might be thinking, Si, isn't there 7 Chaos Emeralds? Well, yeah, you're right, but the idea of transformation wasn't even an idea until later Sonic games, more specifically Sonic 2. Sonic will always be known as one of those classics, up there with the likes of Mario and Zelda, and deserves a place in any gamer's collection. The combination of the music and the gameplay will make gamers care about Sonic's mission to save Mobius from Doctor Robotnik. It's worth buying this piece of gaming history. It's worth like £5 on Amazon or eBay. And Sonic 1 has been ported to pretty much every gaming device. You can even play it on your phone, which isn't too bad if you're going on a long journey somewhere. As I said at the beginning of the video, as well as some of the other videos I have, I'm a huge fan of Sonic and the original games have always been my favourite. The recent Sonic Mania was a great return to the series, as some of the other Sonic games had lost some of their magic touch.
That's no good.
It was great to see the return of Mighty the Armadillo and Ray the Flying Squirrel in Sonic Mania Plus. What other forgotten characters from the Sonic universe will make a return? I love playing Sonic, and if you watch my videos on the top 10 games I play every year, you know it's there. Well, the original series for the Mega Drive. And you may have heard that there is a Sonic movie on the way, but it's not the first time Sonic had a film. There was a Sonic movie released back in 1999, which is a guilty pleasure to watch, even if the dubbing is questionable. Just have a look at this.
You might know everything I'm going to do, but that's not going to help you since I know everything you're going to do. Strange, isn't it?
You see what I mean, but I still love it. Anyway, come back next time where a certain son of Sparda uses his dual pistol and his sword to hunt down demons. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next game.